There. Deserved it. G'day Fixers, James again. Remember me? I'm the guy who 24 hours ago said this. Burn it with fire. I'll show you why. And now, in true style, I have to not eat my shorts, but at least eat my words. There was, understandably, a lot of conversation, suggestions, and pointers as to what could be wrong with this not inexpensive little combo that I basically ragged off completely in my last video, and am now publishing a retraction because I think it's very important to A, leave the initial observations up to show the world how much of a git I am, B, unfortunately can't edit that because YouTube doesn't let you, but C, when you're wrong, to make sure the world knows that you were wrong. And I was 90% wrong. There is a problem with this, but it is not the fatal flaw that I described. Let's take a peek. This is now not falling off, which was my big problem, and as we saw, it is perfectly square. So at about the 40 AUD price mark, the brass knob is quite nice to adjust it and hold it. So where the hell did I go so wrong? And I shit you not, I had anxiety about publishing that video, not because what I said I thought was untrue, but just because I thought it shouldn't be true. I checked this thing half a dozen times, I'm not exaggerating. Even just before I hit the publish video button on YouTube last night, I came down, I pulled it apart, I put it back together, I looked at it, and I made sure that, yep, every time that blade was falling off and there was a fault with this machine. But the smallest amount of doubt remained. Mostly because I checked the online reviews and only a handful of people had mentioned that it was bad. There were more reviews on it saying that this was not square, which I don't agree with. Well, at least my one is square. Only a few people out of hundreds of reviews. So, I came back this morning, I reassembled it, and the damn thing worked. Why? Here's why. Let's get you up close again. Okie dokie. So, in my last video, I showed that the problem was as soon as you released tension on the brass knurled knob here, that the ruler would fall out every single time I used it. Now, it is not. Why is it so? Well, after many suggestions in my comments, especially from my mate Sparky over in the UK, who is a very good tinkerer of things, he simply said, "Are you sure you have it the right way in?" And I thought, of course I've got it the right way in. This is how it works. Turns out, he was dead right. There is a right and a wrong way to insert the ruler. The simple solution is that circle in there, the hole through which the holder keeper pin thing sits, is off center. The one I've got it in now is ever so slightly smaller than the one down the bottom here, meaning that slop that I was experiencing when the pin was like this is now eliminated as it should be to hold it correctly. Now obviously this is a combo square. It does not come with instructions because you really shouldn't need any. Yet somehow every time I manage to put this thing together, and I pulled it apart many times, I've always gotten to the point where it was like that. And that simple rotation was the cause of all of my grief. Now, when it's up there, it doesn't fall out. It is the tiniest difference. It's probably even difficult to see with the naked eye, even zoomed up on camera, but that is what corrected the issue. Now I've got to remember which way it goes. That way, I think. Let's see. That's how hard it is to tell. Even when I thought I knew which way it was supposed to go, I put it in bloody backwards again. What is it with this bloody thing? So keep it that way, it has to go this way. It is an absolute mongrel because, and I think I've just worked out why I kept on having it the wrong way around every time I assembled it. To stop the pin from spinning, you've got to hold the ruler in against that half circle, and the natural winding it up to get it in the right position orientates the half circle the wrong way. So now my natural inclination would be to do that, but I know that's wrong, so I've got to get the half circle around, facing that way, There we go. Okay, so now it's tightened. I have the one down here so it can act as a depth stop, and when I release, it doesn't come off. It was, for me, inserting it the way I do, I'm using my left hand I suppose, maybe you should use your right hand, it was just the counterintuitive way. But it now slides and functions as it would, and that metal pin is engaged correctly. It's even holding the ruler flat against the back here so that there's no tilt in that direction either. Guys, sometimes you make mistakes and it's easy to do. If you are even pretending to be some sort of influencer, I hate that word, and I realise only a couple of hundred of you people are lovely enough to watch my videos every week. But even more so, you need to be bloody honest with the folks who are sometimes going off what you say. And I don't give poor reviews lightly. I very rarely give poor reviews because, quite frankly, for the price you pay for something, it is usually 99% of the time or thereabouts, you get what you pay for. And here is probably that again. If you are careful and sometimes ask the community to give you feedback, you will find a solution to a lot of problems. So this is James with beanie hair, eating my hat, and apologies to Bangood, who sent me out this stuff for free and will now have a happier spot in my workshop. I still don't know if I'll use them regularly. As I said, the Amazon, eBay route is not one I go often with these big retailers. I like my smaller local retailers, and that isn't going to change. But credit where credit is due and fault where fault is due. James, apologise to the world and the internet. I'm done. See you next time, guys, on a hopefully more successful little project.